right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's I Quit My Band. How you fellas doing tonight? Good?
Feeling
good, dude.
liberated.
Yeah. It's a new episode tonight.
Yeah.
Whole new format.
We're
Yeah.
doing a different thing.
And the fact that I got about 20 minutes of work in me, this is great.
I know,
I like
this
this
is-
new format.
Yeah.
This new format where we're not
Where
talking about really
Nate
anything.
works more.
I'll do the job.
Yeah.
And you guys just
Chill.
come in, man, you go. You know?
Get a Coke Zero out the fridge.
Yeah.
Say hi to your wife.
Yeah.
Bye.
Talk about Wicked, how much you liked it.
I
how
liked
much I
it.
didn't like it.
Yeah, neither of you. Well, you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but I
You're
don't
not gonna like
it.
it.
No.
You're not gonna
I
like.
feel safe in my assumption.
Yeah. I don't like prequels about the people being in high school or whatever.
They're in college.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
College.
that's a pretty robust subgenre. If I
It's-
really think about
it's
it.
a lot. There's a lot of
There's a lot
of
that fall
prequels
into
where
that
they're like,
bucket.
oh, we're in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman and the Joker in high school. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that's what it makes me think. Of.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, let's just do one where Batman knows the Joker in high school. Like,
And that
it's the
never
same thing.
came up over like the course of 40 years of crime fighting.
It's never come up. I'm sure someone has had the idea.
Joker,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the Joker, the first Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, like he did like hang out with young Bruce Wayne one time. Remember that? That
Right.
scene through the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
that's kinda like
They're
that.
almost there, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like that movie either. So
Yeah.
you're right.
You didn't like Joker?
No,
I like Joker.
All right, we'll get into that.
Did you ever
another
see
day.
Joker 2?
no.
Bad. Stinker.
Foley of Poo?
Fully
Yeah,
up.
that's-
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
his- that was your
That was
joke.
me. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Fully
Got it.
a poo.
Full out better. Yeah.
Foley of Poo.
Anyways.
Anyways, so we're doing a new thing tonight. We're very excited about it. We are going to be doing an interview with an artist that we're fans of, and we've had people on the show before sit in this seat. We've had Jake Kelly from Feeble Little Horse. We had our buddy Noah from Princess, Noah Summers from Princess. But we've never done an interview from Zoom. This is our first one. We're going to be talking to Sugar Pit, the kind of indie electronic. Not even really sure how to categorize him.
Yeah, I would say like somewhere between like indie rock and indie pop.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And
Indie
this is
rock for sure.
The first interview of like a musician that we don't know personally.
We don't
Yeah.
know him personally
like
at
Jake
all.
Kelly and Noah are both.
Those were
Homies.
favors we had to call in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kian Stevens Wilson is his name. Lives in L.A. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Literally don't know him at all.
Don't know him at all. He's been kind of blowing up recently. You were going to put on one of his songs on like
Yeah.
the last
Oh, were
episode
you?
we were going to do. Yeah. He's been kind of blowing up recently. It was weird. Like, you know, we heard about the interview and then like I saw that Fantano reviewed his new album, which is called Shhh
Don't Jinx It.
Don't Jinx It.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say, but Shhh.
You just do don't jinx
Don't
it.
jinx it. It's hard.
You ever-
That's his new album that just
jinxing
came
it,
out.
dude.
Damn,
Jinxing
dude.
it so hard.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
It's gonna be fine. So the new album came out. Fantano reviewed it. Fantano did an interview with him. I'm seeing interviews with him
And we just-
all over YouTube.
And if you know this channel, we're picking up Fantano's scraps.
We pick
Yeah.
up his sloppy seconds. Yeah. But yeah, I checked out the album immediately and loved it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so great. It reminded me a lot of, you said, like, sort of the Dare. I caught glimpses of that Masterpiece record that
Yeah.
we
Yes.
reviewed a couple months ago. But
LCD sound system.
LCD sound system for sure.
some Devo, some Ween.
Definitely Devo and Ween. I think he brought up Ween as one of his big influences as well.
Got tracks.
Yeah, and it's a short album. It's only 30 minutes long, and it's just fucking great from front to back. I'm gonna put on a little bit of it.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
just
cool.
talk over a little
Yeah,
bit.
Magic is the album opener. That was the song I was going to put on the
Yeah.
playlist. Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well, and I agree with like the Masterpiece comparison. Like there does seem to be this wave of indie musicians that are taking like that indie rock boom of the 2000s and like revitalizing it and funneling it all into like a pop centric delivery, where I think that he differs from somebody like the Dare. Like one of the first things we said in the Dare review is like, oh, this guy has nothing to say.
Yeah.
Whereas what I liked about Sugar Pit and the record a lot is he does have a very distinct point of view. He is talking about like a normal life.
Yeah, the mundaneness of everything that we're going through,
Yeah.
kind of. Because he, I mean, you know, it's easy to get signed to Atlantic and then already start making songs about like how sick your new car is or whatever. But this guy very clearly, from what I've observed from his music and like doing research for the interviews and whatever, he's like just a normal bro. He's like a valet or something. Works in a coffee shop. You know.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
He's such a relatable figure to like. I love that kind of music, like just the music that's like for the working man almost.
Yeah.
But you never hear it in this style. Like the music for the working man is usually like Bruce Springsteen or like any country artist, but you don't hear it with just like some guy who just likes to party and sits all day as an accounting job and dreams of like being a rock star, which is what I did for 6 years. Exactly. I had an accounting job. So I love that. You know, I love that it can be funneled into different types of different genres, I guess. And it's so cool to hear someone like make it funny as well, because it is a funny thing. You know, there's a lot of like humor in just like wanting to be famous, I guess.
Oh yeah, especially when you're like day to day, couldn't be any
more
than that.
mundane. Yeah, it makes me think like I don't know if like the more boring the job, the more fun the song is like kind of a thing I've been thinking of while listening to this record. Like I'm curious what kind of jobs he's had in order to make this record that inspired this record, because it is just so fun and it's only a half hour. It's like such a shot of energy.
Yeah, what's even cooler is he does everything himself.
He also does everything himself.
You know, and it doesn't. There are albums that can feel like that, but this doesn't. There's so much energy to it, and the thought of like one guy being able to not only write these songs but perform them with like the energy and immediacy that they have is really impressive.
I think that's like maybe what Atlantic saw in him. You know, is like, there's a lot of bands making stuff like this that probably don't get the attention or whatever that they deserve, but then you see a singular entity putting all this together, not just writing the tunes, but like recording it in his bedroom or whatever, producing it and making it sound the way it is. I'm sure there are other people involved at a certain level, but like that's what I was really impressed with too, and I'm sure we'll ask him about that when you talk to him.
You ask him.
I'm going to have to do the interview.
Yeah.
We were actually going to do it tonight, but some scheduling conflicts came up. And also, I'm kind of just, you know, it puts me more at ease. It seemed like there was going to be a lot
It was going to be a super technical thing.
Technical bullshit.
I mean, there's a chance that you don't ever see this portion because the technical nightmare that's going to be on our hands trying to record an interview is above our pay grade.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how we're going to do it in the future for other artists. We'll have to figure that out.
But if you see this, you know that a miracle took place, that we were able to get the interview in the can. It was watchable.
It was watchable and usable
and
with,
audible.
with this as well.
You didn't personally offend Sean Pitt enough that he didn't end the Zoom call early.
He's just like, what show is this even? It's like, I thought you had two other guys with you and you had a cool thing. Like, nah, this is just my office.
They're made up.
Those guys that's ended.
AI.
We actually talk to those guys.
We actually don't do that anymore. And I'm not going to be posting this. I thought it would just be cool to talk.
You're just like playing him your demos the whole time. What do you
like,
think
so
about
you're
that Atlantic? I think like maybe just pass it up the chain if you.
It's called American Barbecue.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
But yeah, I mean, I just think he's such an admirable artist, and like, it's exactly the type of guy that you want to see come up and get recognition. Like the guy who's grinding, making the most fun, enjoyable pop music that you possibly can. Stuff that we kind of like on this show. Whenever we hear records, like we enjoyed that Masterpiece record so much just because it was so fun. It was like one of the most positive reviews we've ever given. And it's because we're just like, this is just deliver like the short, punchy hooks. It's all we want. Funny, funny lyrics and stuff. Like this is exactly up our alley, I think.
Yeah.
Like just in terms of what we're looking for when we listen to music.
Completely. And also music doesn't have to be this serious, you know?
Yeah.
I like playing in bands where I'm not making jokes, but I also enjoy music where it isn't that, and it's refreshing to see someone so comfortably execute that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah, like his vocal performances are so fun
Yeah.
and
So fun.
weird.
Yeah.
Like there's like times where it's like David Byrne or David Byrne via like James Murphy.
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, good call.
And yeah, I love stuff like that. It helps me when music has a sense of humor. It's easier for me to connect to it.
Yeah.
You know, because
100%.
like they just feel more like a human being.
Yeah.
Than if they're like talking like entirely in like abstract.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, what is this even about?
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, too cryptic of lyrics where it's just like you have to be so fucking in. Yeah, it's refreshing to not have that as well. I love all the little like asides and stuff on this record too, like the little talking portions where he's just like, because he makes all these records himself in I'm sure in like a home studio or something, and having like these little parts where like on Sex Party where he's like, hey, nice stroke over there, guy. Like that's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
It's such a little memorable bit that that he was just sitting in his house just like, nice stroke over there, guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I wanted to ask him was
Yeah.
just like, is it easier to do this by yourself? Because like, is there like, I know when I have like a weird vocal part that I want to introduce to the band, I gotta iron that out.
Yeah.
first. That thing's
Yeah.
gotta be dialed in
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if the first time is just my bandmates being like, what the
whoa.
fuck was
Yeah.
that? You know, so like, does that like working alone allow you the freedom to go out and find these weird
Yeah.
things that like, you know, just you think is funny, like maybe other people will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that too. Like every time I ever had like a lyric I wasn't sure about, I was always like, "What do you think of that?" You know, and you're just like, "I
Yeah.
don't fucking care."
Hey, read it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then you sing it, and you're just there's like, "What does that mean?" Like I thought you signed off on it. I thought we were good.
You signed off on the notes app.
You said it was good. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there is an effect, just a freedom that he probably feels just doing this on his own, and it really comes through with the songs.
Well, and kudos to Atlantic for kind of recognizing a young talent when it. I'm sure that there's tons of people that think that they're like him coming through their door all the time.
Yeah.
And it's fucking Atlantic, you know,
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin's record label, anybody, you know, whatever. But there is something special about him, you know, clearly.
Yeah.
And he's going to be around for a long time making stuff,
Yeah,
you know.
So
We're
guys
giving him the IQMB rub, dude.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
why we're giving him the rub.
We're giving
Yeah.
him the rub.
We're on the
Yeah.
ground floor, dude.
Do you guys have any? And just before we get into that, I feel like he's gonna fit in with this show. I guess
I think so.
is what I wanted
Yeah.
to say. I feel like he's a good first guest for us because he's seems to not take himself too seriously. We don't at all.
If you're fans
Yeah.
of the show, that's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Like-
feel like it's a good first guest for us too.
Our next guest after that is 2 from Sleep Token, actually.
yes, he's gonna be here.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, my fog machine is in the
Yeah.
shop at the moment, but once that
Yeah, we're
is
waiting on
fixed-
that to get ironed out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna get through customs, so we gotta go buy one ourselves.
Can you guys go rent a fog machine?
Or need a fog machine.
and the Dateline NBC filter for my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over the phone. We're
Yeah.
like, what? We can't.
If you could
fog
contact,
machine.
if you could contact the VP of marketing and figure that out from Drumeo, that would be
Get that
great.
ironed out. We'll be good.
Yeah,
Um,
had something come up with my visa.
but before we like get into the interview, album? We all listened to the full album. I'm sure. Favorite songs?
I like Magic a lot. I think it's a really strong opener. What was the song that was just on?
Jesus POV.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. That
one's funny.
The riff is so good in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite.
I like Rockstar Fantasy the most.
Rockstar Fantasy's great.
Really good music video for that song too. It's like all shot in one take. It seems
Yeah.
like, and super like grimy and dirty and like VHS looking and whatever. But that song is really cool, and it's like maybe the most psych rock thing going on the album. So I think that's why it appealed to me. There's kind of like a scuzzy bass line going on the
Yeah.
whole time. Scratched an itch for me, but
This
the
is
op-
that song, bro.
yes, that one's really good, and I like the story of it too. Of like like
My
kind of
name
like what
is
you were.
David Poincietta.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
so good, but
But
I
from
really.
the point of view of just like an office drone. Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
Jesus
We've all lived that life.
Jesus POV was also another one of my favorites for that silly riff in it.
I really like Dirty Laundry. Just like I'll put that on now. Like the guitar, the way the guitar sounds in there, right up my alley.
Yeah.
So Scott Pilgrim sounding.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
that's-
weird chorus effect.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just great. It has a great melody to it. I like Rockstar Fantasy a lot. I like Jesus POV. Sex Party though is so fun to me.
Yeah.
Just that nice stroke over there. I just can't get over how
You're
fucking
almost
funny
like
that is.
doing a penguin impression, like, "Hey, nice stroke over there."
I was
Yeah.
getting like a little, almost like Rob Schneider or something.
It's almost a Rob Schneider
from
yeah.
from like an Adam Sandler
Yeah.
movie.
Hey, what are you showing me?
Yeah.
Hey,
It is that. Yeah, the fucking Colin Farrell.
Colin
penguin.
Farrell
Yeah.
Joker, who's
What are you
basically
showing me?
basically Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
so.
Oh, holy God!
Oh
Yeah.
my God, what are you showing
Yeah.
me?
Have you guys watched that show?
Yeah,
I'm like
I
3
have.
episodes in.
Yeah,
Don't like it.
It's all right.
it's all right.
That's besides the point.
Yeah. we'll cover that in our Colin Farrell interview.
We'll
up
cover
next
that when
week.
we interview Colin Farrell.
He's
yeah.
after 2,
He did ask to be on
Yeah.
the show,
and he's gonna be in full penguin
He
regalia.
did, yeah.
He'll limp in here.
yeah, we're interviewing him as the penguin.
It takes 4 hours
Yeah.
for him to get prepped.
But anyway, that is our little intro before we do the review with Kian, who is also known as Sugar Pit. The album is called Shh Don't Jinx It. Go check it out. It's everywhere right now. Go watch all of his stuff. He does great music videos. Follow him on Instagram too.
Really, like in the content game too. That's something he's pretty vocal about. Like
He's a
just
content
posting
guy.
shit all the time.
Yeah, he has
you
like
know?
a funny video series on YouTube called The Tall Chair, and it's
Oh,
like
really?
he does like almost like an Eric Andre interview show, and he's in this like 10-foot tall chair, and
Yeah.
the guests are like down at a desk
That's awesome.
below.
It's really
I
good.
haven't seen that, but that's great. Go check out the Tall Chair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, just get in on this guy, and we'll see you next time. But for now, here's the interview with Sugar Pit.
We're here with Sugar Pit. We've done it. You're our first guest. You're our truly first guest on the show.
Really?
We've had 2 other guests before, but they're friends of ours. So they've like actually come to my house and sat down. You're the first guy that has like come and actually done a Zoom interview. This is my first, like I haven't even used Zoom much before.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, I'm honored.
Really cool. Yeah, thank you so much for doing it. So the new debut album is called Shh Don't Jinx It. Atlantic, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Super fun, energetic record. I've been listening to it since we scheduled the interview. I mean, it's like so much like your influences, from what I think your influences are, like align exactly with shit that I love. Beck,
Hell yeah.
Ween.
Yep.
Is that right?
Beck, Ween, Talking Heads,
Talking Heads.
LCD Sound System. That's pretty much the formula.
Love it. I mean, what's your favorite? I just have to nerd out. What's your favorite Beck record?
I don't know, man. I mean, either Mellow Gold or Midnight Vultures would probably be my
That's a
two
good.
picks. Yeah.
I mean, it's either Mellow Gold or Odelay. Odelay is like maybe
Odelay. I mean, Odelay is unbeatable. It's
it might be like it's just like the de facto answer. Like it's kind of
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But anyways,
Kind of why I didn't want to say it, but
yeah. You can't go with the most obvious one. Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, the record's amazing. We've been listening to it. It's we always look for like just short to the point, punchy pop records, and like you're right up that alley. And you've kind of blown up lately. Like you're a super DIY artist, and like I'm looking up your name. Like you got a review on the Needle Drop with Anthony Fantano, and then you
Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
was that like a goal for you? Like I was a musician at one point. I know it was like my dream. Like I want to be reviewed by Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously she's the fucking dude who does music reviews. So
Yeah,
it was like it was surreal. I mean, it was. Yeah, I feel kind of lucky in a way. Like, I mean, there's so many other bands that are so good, and there's so many people who work their fucking ass off and make amazing, like groundbreaking music that nobody knows about and doesn't get any reviews.
Right.
So, I feel like in a lot of ways, I just feel lucky that, yeah, it's cool. It's amazing.
Yeah. Did you watch the review and think, was there any points where you watched it and you were like, whoa, buddy, a little too hard, a little too harsh?
No, I thought it was pretty spot on. Honestly, he called out. He definitely called out an LCD ripoff on a song, which I thought was pretty spot on. And I was kind of like, "Ooh, I thought nobody would notice that."
Yeah, dude, you can't get around him. Yeah, that's what I've been curious about. Like if anyone gets reviewed by him and they're just like, I wish he didn't. But no, it was a it was a great review. I love to see it. Yeah, like he's turned me, that channel has turned me on to so much music, so I got to give him credit.
Yeah.
But what's the story with Sugar Pit, man? Like it seems like you've been at, like, this is the debut record, but it seems like you've been at it for a while, had a lot of singles come out. When did this project start?
Been at it forever. I started the project. I was like 16 in
How old are you now?
26.
You're 26. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been at it for a minute with just doing Sugar Pit. I started in Southern Illinois, just out of my bedroom and shit. And it's just been that way ever since. Just me in my bedroom playing instruments and shit. And yeah, I don't know. I started in Southern Illinois, and I was just putting shit out on like SoundCloud and everything. And then I wanted to keep doing it. And so I went to college in Philly, and I studied like audio engineering,
Okay.
which helped like get good at like mixing shit and like using microphones and just all that kind of more technical shit. And like it aided in the DIY nature of what I do, because it just gave me more shit to know how to do and like more tools to work with and shit.
Yeah.
And then I moved to San Francisco for a year and just wrote I was just working shitty jobs and just wrote a bunch of shit about that. And then I moved to LA and started putting out singles again. And I mean, I'd been releasing music this whole time, since I was 16 in Illinois, but I feel like it wasn't until I moved to LA that I really started dialing in on shit like branding and content and rollout strategy, just coming at it with a little bit more like strategy and and mindfulness and expanding like beyond just the music. And I've been in LA for 2.5 years or so, and here we are.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, like 10 years, like a lot of people probably, like, with all that many moves too, like I feel like so many artists probably would have just been like, oh, I'm gonna change the name of the project or something, or like make a huge stylistic shift or something like that. And you've just been sticking with it. And it's like that's the way to go, honestly. Like that's the key, is just longevity.
Yeah, totally. Just I don't know. I was just kind of felt like, I don't know. I've definitely gone through a lot of different styles and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I've even taken a couple of things down off of Spotify, like
oh really?
That I just stand to listen to.
Just those old demos, man. You're just like, I don't want anyone to hear that. But has the sound like shifted at all, like from like city to city?
Yeah, for sure. Like in Illinois, like when I started writing off, like I was listening to like Violent Femmes and like bluegrass and folk and shit. So a lot of that kind of stuff, or in like Drive By Truckers. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah,
shit like that. Isabel. I also used to love this band called the Woodbox Gang. Shout out! I just want to throw that out there for my hometown. This little local band, but
I love local music, dude.
Like kind of more folksy, bluesy kind of stuff going on, and then when I was studying like production in college, then I started writing more on the computer, and I got more into like synthesizers and pop and like more polished type of shit, and I had some kind of cringy funk moments that I was getting into, like. It's always been a little bit all over the place. So I feel like the stuff, everything is. I just kind of feel like everything has kind of led me up to this point where I am now, and it's all just kind of. There's been a lot of stylistic shifts throughout the years, and it's all just kind of coalesced into what it is now.
Yeah, and it definitely sounds like the areas that you were like kind of influenced those stylistic shifts too, which is really neat.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. like, so you do all these, you do all your songwriting and like recording yourself, right? Like was that the case for this new album?
Total solitude.
In solitude by yourself. Um, where does that start for you? Like what do you start with? Guitar, or like is it come with like a riff, or is it like a embarrassing voice memo on your phone?
Usually it's there's like I'll either write with a drum beat or a riff or a concept. Usually I'll try and have some kind of lyrical concept in mind, like what, like just like a line
Yeah.
isn't just a thing. I was like just a jumping off point, and then I'll usually start with a drum beat. I'm like, okay, I started on drums. That was my first instrument, so I feel like that's kind of what I'm on to. It's like good.
Wait a damn minute.
I like what the process is like, and
Yeah.
I feel like usually I'm trying to start with a just something to say that means something, or just like something that's like that I feel like I could that I mean. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you can have anybody can say anything over an awesome instrumental, but the only thing that really separates you is like what your point of view. So I just am just mainly concerned about what like expressing something that I believe, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I feel like the album is a really good reflection of that too, because like it seems like you're kind of coming. My favorite thing about the record is that it sounds like a lot of it's inspired by like working a regular job. You know, like
Totally. So,
like that's my favorite. Like we're all three of the hosts on the show. Like we have just regular like boring jobs. Like you have that song "Rockstar Fantasy" about David Poinsettia, and
Richard Poinsettia.
yeah, dude. I worked in accounting for 6 years while being a musician. So like I relate to that song on crazy levels. Like when you're coming up with this stuff, like the job like has to be a huge influence. Like does the boring the job kind of make them like more exciting of a song?
It makes me more fucking resentful for sure.
Yeah.
The worse the job, I don't know.
What is the worst job what's the job that's kind of inspired the most music out of you?
Plus about a specific one job and just such a long-standing series of working 2 or 3 jobs at once, and they're all interchanging, and like I don't know, it just fucking sucks. Like,
dude,
it fucking sucks. Like, it's just way too little money to be sacrificing like your day and also your life. And I don't know. I was just when I first moved to, I'd been doing just a series of working at like dim sum places and being a host and working at coffee shops. I worked at this weird like electric scooter factory in San Francisco where they wouldn't let us take lunches. It was like a weird fucking vibe.
Really? Take lunches?
No, it was like not an official business. It was like we were like kind of off the books kind of thing.
Books. Yeah, some shady biz.
It was shady. It was a fucked up situation.
That sounds wild, dude.
It sucked. It fucking sucked so bad. My job was to quality control all of these like fucked up scooters that would come in like it doesn't matter. But anyway,
like recreational scooters?
Yeah, these fucking scooters from China that would go like 70 miles an hour, but the brakes like not working, so we would like fix the brakes and shit. But anyway, I was doing valet work when I moved to LA, which is really stings because you wear this stupid ass fucking bow tie and the vest and like your little like valet outfit. And you go drive people's fucking literally Rolls Royces, and you're like getting paid $15 an hour, and you're just like, somebody just kill me, like. And
then you just you have that fucking bow tie on the whole time.
Yeah, and you're wearing a bow.
Like
horrible.
The ultimate just slap in your own face. Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's just bullshit. I did an interview to be a birthday clown. Like I found the listing on Craigslist, and this
Yeah.
crazy, like, I went over to her gross cat house and like, just all this shit, and it's just like this accumulation of shit. That's just like, why is it so hard to support my fucking self
Yeah.
as a regular dude? Like, what do I got to do all this shit for? Like, why are you paying me $15 an hour? Like, it's just a lot of the songs are just a accumulation of just being fucking pissed.
Yeah, dude, that's enough. That's enough to write one kick-ass album. And just a question too about the birthday clown thing, because that's just very funny. Like, how did you like? So you saw the thing like to be a birthday clown. Did you have like the materials to be a birthday clown, or you were like, I'm gonna go buy a birthday clown?
$100 an hour, and I was like,
oh,
that's really good. And so I went over. I'm like, I got nothing to lose here. Like, I just moved to LA, so I check it out, and she's like, we go into her house. It smells like cigarette smoke, and like just it is covered with cat hair. Like, it is more cat hair than carpet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's totally dark. There's no lights. She's like this kind of creepy old lady being like, so I'm gonna teach you everybody. I'm gonna give you. It was like a group of 3 people, and she was like,
wow,
she was like,
clown for 3 people.
And she's like, I'm gonna give you guys this balloon, and I'm gonna give you this blower. And she taught us how to blow them up, and
dude,
she showed us her big. She had this shed outdoor with all of like these shitty, fucked up clown costumes, like on the bottom of the shed, like
that's
like
so
with
strange.
Spiders crawling on them and like dust and cobwebs. It was just fucked up.
Was that the inspiration for? Was that the inspiration for the song "Sex Party"?
No.
That's a joke. I'm just joking. It sounds like it almost got there, though.
Oh, it could have.
Yeah,
could have.
Probably could have escalated there. But yeah, I mean, that's all. Like, that all gives a really cool glimpse into like why you make music and everything. And you're also like really great with social media. Like, I feel like there's so many artists that you talk to, so many bands kind of like dread the whole like content social media game, but it seems like you really have fun with it.
I just like the.
What's that?
I just like the attention,
dude. Don't we all? You know, no, everyone's just afraid to admit it. I feel like, you know, you have a show. My co-host Evan, he brought up you have a show called The Tall Chair.
Yeah.
What's that? Can you tell us about that?
So I linked up this comedy troupe in LA called Highland Park TV, and they have for a long time been doing their own thing. Just like it's this awesome group of really funny comedians, and they just write skits and film it at this studio, and they're all fucking awesome. But I hit them up to try and do something, and I met up with everybody at a bar, and we were just spitballing ideas, and we came up with this idea to like make a talk show where I'm like demeaning the guests, and I'm like, you know, in a tall chair, and I don't know. We had that idea, and the label was down to pay for it, so we fucking did that shit.
Oh, that's so awesome.
We filmed it all in one day, and we got all these random guests, and everything was just kind of like improv, and yeah, it was fun.
That sounds. I mean, that's just a hilarious idea. It's like Between Two Ferns, but just kind of like more extreme.
Totally.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like obviously you have a lot. Like you don't dread the social media aspect of promoting your music at all, do you?
I mean, it is kind of a no. I mean, like I said, I'm just so motivated to try and just get people to fucking listen to my shit. It's like. Yeah. I just want people to listen to my music so badly that like I'll do anything for that to happen.
Did you ever do any like of those like any services like streaming, like sending your music out to like different places to like the show? Yeah.
It's fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, that shit is that's a lot of work.
It's super predatory.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the businesses like that are like playlist booster like type shit like that?
Yeah, exactly.
it's super like that type of shit really feeds on people's like what I'm just talking about. Like I want people to listen to my music. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is all bullshit. But yeah, I've been doing like that. Like I would do Submit Hub. You probably know Submit Hub.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. Submit Hub, stuff like that.
I wish I could get that fucking money back from Submit Hub.
It's all right, dude. You're fucking crushing it now.
Yeah,
you're about to cash those checks. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we love your social media. Like the whole like that's so awesome. And like we always say, like, I mean, you're obviously a funny guy and like putting humor, like comedic aspects in your music and your social media. The thing, like so, our podcast is like comedy and music. Like we try not to take it too seriously. Like, do you kind of feel the same way? Like, do you feel like music shouldn't be taken like that seriously or be that kind of like, I don't know, like lyrically pretentious all the time? Like, do you think humor is a really important aspect of music and I guess content that goes along with music?
I don't know. You know, I was just talking about this concept of taking things seriously with my friend Austin the other day, and we were talking about like, what does it mean to like take something serious? Like, what is that? And I feel like, I feel like I do take myself very seriously.
Yeah.
In a way, I take the music that I make really seriously, and that like I want to put everything I can into it, and like really, you know, just make it as good, make the production good, and flush out the lyrical idea, and just make it like take it seriously and shit. But I think I just don't want to. I don't want to have to be cool all the time or like act.
That's probably the best. That's the best description that I've heard for that. Like you don't have to be like leather jacket, pop collar guy. You know, like you can just be like a funny, entertaining dude. You know.
Yeah, like I just want to keep things. I think I try and just like keep things light and goofy and like one and just I love shit that just makes me laugh. Like my favorite thing about Ween is that they are obviously such incredible musicians, and the musicality in all of the songs is so on point, and the production is so like clean and like really like it's like intentional.
Yes.
You can tell they take everything so seriously, but the way that they're approaching the song is just so lighthearted and goofy, and I just feel like there's something just so subversive about that. About like I'm gonna take my time and polish it, but also fuck you, I'm fucking around. Like I just love that attitude.
Yeah, it is something I've noticed like with your music and like with Ween, where it's like these are great songs. Like there's a reason why people are listening to this, but like at the same time, they're just, like they can like uplift you in a different way than being like inspired or something. It's just kind of like it's just pure joy, you know? Like I think of a song like with Ween, like Push the Little Daisies or something. Like such a good. You don't know that one?
How's it go? I don't remember.
It's the one that was like that. Like they like pitch their voices higher and they're like push the little daisies and make them come up. You know that one?
I bringing a bell.
Oh, dude, Pure Guava. You gotta go check it out.
Okay. But listen to the album.
But yeah, it's the same type of vibe. It's just like it's taking yourself seriously, obviously, like on a musical, you know, in a musical way, but like in a production way. But in terms of like pop centric ideas, it's like very loose, very like free flowing, which is something I really appreciate about what you're doing too. And obviously, like I was mentioning it on the show too, like the little asides that you have in the spoken word parts of your songs, like like one of my favorite parts of the record, tiny little part on Sex Party. But like towards the end where you're like, nice stroke over there, guy. Like that's fucking hilarious.
Thank you, man.
What is that? What is the nice stroke over there, guy? Like, is that just because it's on Sex Party? Is it like actually about like a stroke?
Yeah,
like,
I was just imagining. I was just kind of like an off the cuff thing when I was recording. I was just imagining like I'm at a sex party and like I'm imagining myself like as the host, and I'm like, looking good. You're doing good. I like it. good stroke, good form. Like, I like what you're doing.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh man. When you're like, so you're doing this stuff alone, like because you're alone, do you feel
Yeah.
that kind of freedom to just go full weirdo right there in your bedroom? Like
Yeah.
it's gotta be nice.
I never really think about it like that, but that's definitely plays into it. Is like being alone and just fully cranking it up for sure.
Yeah. Feeling goofy, just like in your microphone, like by yourself. Nice
Yeah,
struggle.
I'll be like, I'll also get in zones where I'm not leaving my house for like 4 or 5 days, and that
Yeah.
like I don't kind of like I reach a symbiosis at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you haven't been out around people and you're like, I gotta act normal now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what's the deal with the album cover? I want to know about the album cover. Are you at a DMV?
Yeah, I'm in a DMV. I was shooting a music video for one of the songs on the album in a DMV with my buddy Fletcher Barton, who is an incredible visual collaborator of mine. We've worked on he shot like a lot of those videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's just like, that was just like a screenshot from that video that we did. Basically the idea was like, it was for a song called Jesus POV.
Yes.
And my idea for the DMV thing was like, I want to go into this ultimate American corporate cold atmosphere and just get up there in this like American flag t-shirt and like, I don't know, pretend like I'm leading a congregation or something. Like, there's something in my head that makes sense with like,
yeah, a revolt.
Because everybody's kind of sitting like they do in church.
Yeah, there's no joy in the DMV. Like that's
and so I think like more like the album cover is kind of like the thing I was kind of trying to get or like a mood I'm trying to get across is like being yourself in this place where they don't want you to be yourself and they don't want you to stray from the rules and regulations. But you can still fucking do your thing and you can still scissor kick in the DMV.
Yeah. That's a really cool just like overall theme for the record. Like being yourself in a place where they don't want you to be yourself. Whether that's at work or fucking at the DMV, whatever. And I also like apart from all the like music videos that you do, like everything's DIY, another awesome like I feel like I can't watch music videos unless they're like DIY anymore. Like it just has to feel natural. So love your music videos. But apart from that, what was that?
You don't want to see like a JoJo Siwa like $50,000 video.
I don't want to see like like anyone on the top of a mountain, just in a completely random situation. Apart from the music videos, like your live performances are also like very energetic. I watched one at Mohawk, and I was actually just at Mohawk. Went to Texas in May, and Mohawk's a crazy fucking venue. But I saw you play there, and there's like parts of your set where like there's some things that feel like they're planned out, but also at the same time like very loose and free flowing as well. Like how do you psych up for a live show? Like, is that kind of like, is there in part like choreographed to kind of make it a little bit more over the line?
Well, I mean, that show we were like towards the end of tour. So that was like our 15th show or something.
Oh, okay.
So and there was a little bit of scriptedness to like the backup singers will start. Like we had planned out that some of the skits with the backup singers were, they'd say, hello, can I help you? Hello, can I help you? And
paper or plastic?
Paper or plastic. And then we'd get into the customer service song. So shit like that plans, but a lot of the banter is just kind of like, like improv to, it's a mix. It's a mix of a little bit of preparation and improv too.
Oh, that's really cool.
Which I think is the funnest part about playing live.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Are you guys on tour again? Are you guys going back out on tour soon or?
hope so. If my label wants to pay for it, then for sure.
I would
But-
love to see you play live. You got to come to Pittsburgh, man.
I know. I got to.
My whole
The
goal
tour was amazing.
What's that?
The tour we just got off of with Fiddler was fucking sick. That was like my first real fucking
How many dates was it? Was it like long or 15?
17.
Oh, okay, 17. That's awesome, man. Fiddler is a great band. I feel like you guys fit really well too. That would have been an awesome show. We gotta get you to come to Pittsburgh. My whole goal was to get you to by the end of this interview, you come to Pittsburgh, and then you come and physically sit with us on the show.
Sounds good. I would love to, man. Sounds great.
It's gonna happen.
It'll happen.
Last kind of wrapping up questions here, though. Like, I guess just not really about your music, but like in terms of like what you've been listening to this year. We listen to a lot of music on the show. What's been your go-to this year? Are you listening to stuff that's big or stuff that's like more friends that have been making music, or
A little bit of both. I've been listening to Lip Critic, who's smaller, cool, like chaotic post-punk. I've been listening to Model Actress a lot.
Ooh,
Cool,
love Model
industrial
Actress.
kind of team. They're awesome, dude. On that note, the drummer Ruben suggested to me to listen to this band called the Gilla Band, Gilla band.
Yeah.
And dude, do you know those guys?
Yes, Gilla Band's great. They used to be called Girl Band. They switched their name
Girl
to
Band.
Gilla Band, and now they're like, I think they've always been like pretty like crazy noisy, but yeah.
It's awesome. I'm so into that vibe, dude. One thing I didn't mention is I've got another album like lined up, ready to go that I wrote in the middle of making this album. I was like having like just crazy like mental fucking not a breakdown exactly, but I was just feeling crazy. And I wrote this crazy album that is like that. It's kind of like Model Actress, Gilla Band, like noise, abrasion, punk type of shit.
Are we getting a breaking news story on this show right now? Our first guest, you're telling us?
I'll send you the link after we get off the
Oh my
interview.
god, dude, that would be amazing. I
Yeah.
can't believe we're breaking this news on I Quit My Band. This is
Huge.
great. And it's more noisy? It's a noisy record?
Way harsher, way more violent. The lyrics are way raunchier, and so I'm stoked to put that out.
That's my shit. I can't wait to hear that. That's amazing. That's
yeah,
I'm glad you told us, and I hope you're cool with us putting that like online.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to hear that. We're big noise fans on the show. We'll love Gilla Band, Nine Inch
Fuck yeah.
Nails. You a Nine Inch Nails guy?
No, I think I need to get into them. I've just been getting into Slipknot, which is so kind of out of territory for me, but I'm digging it.
They just came to Pittsburgh. I missed the show, but I was like in the midst of like another Slipknot phase when it happened. Like,
Nice.
where you just go through like 3 weeks of just like listening to those first two records, feeling like you're in 7th grade again.
Dude.
It's the best. But
Yes.
thank you so much for talking to me on the show and being a part of the show and being our first guest, man. Really appreciate it.
I'm honored to be here. Thanks for just giving me a place to yap about myself. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. And the night before Thanksgiving too. So like much appreciated. Like I know you're with your family, so like that's really cool of you to be here.
Absolutely.
The album is called Shh Don't Jinx It.
You got it. Hell
Don't Jinx It on Atlantic Records. Go check it out. This is Kian Stevens Winston's,
Yes.
also known as Sugar Pit.
Yep.
Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you later, my friend. Thank you so much.
Nathan, appreciate you, man.
See you, man. Bye.